I know her schedule better than I know my own. I know she likes her coffee with 2 sugars and a splash of cream. I know that it takes exactly 3 sips before setting it down to tie her hair back, always in a loose ponytail before heading to work. I know she's never late, not once, and she always leaves at precisely 8:15 a.m., locking her door with 2 quick turns of the key. I've been watching her for 6 months now. The first time I saw her, it was raining. She was sitting at the corner table in a cafe, staring out the window with this sort of faraway look, as if the world outside had blurred into nothing. There was something about that look, so sad, so lonely. It just took my breath away. I told myself I would just walk by, just for a moment, just to see her, just a little closer. She didn't even notice me. That night I followed her home. It started innocently, I swear. I just wanted to know who she was, what she did. She lives 3 streets away from my apartment in a small, tidy house with white curtains. They're thin enough that if I stand across the street, I can see her silhouette moving inside, the gentle rhythm of her life unfolding like a private dance. At night, when she's tired, she lets her guard down, and the curtains are never quite drawn all the way. I'm not hurting anyone. She doesn't even know I exist. I'm just looking. She's beautiful. She has these soft, delicate features that the kind that, just make you want to protect her, make her smile. She doesn't even have any friends. Most nights she's alone. Sometimes she watches TV or reads a book curled up on the sofa with a blanket pulled over her legs. Other nights she stares out the window with the same distant look I saw that first time I saw her. I wish she'd notice me out here, standing in the shadows. I started going to the places she goes, sitting in the cafes, the grocery stores, and the parks. I'm careful, always careful. I've learned how to move unnoticed, blending into her background like a ghost. I watch her in the supermarket, the way she hesitates over which apples to buy, the way she double checks the expiration dates on the milk cartons. I listen to the way she orders her lunch at the deli. Her voice is so soft and so polite. I know her name now, Amelia. I heard it when the barista called her name for order. Amelia, your coffee's ready, they said. Isn't it pretty? Isn't it such a pretty name? I say it to myself sometimes when I'm lying in bed, feeling the weight of the silence pressing down. Amelia. I found her Instagram, her Facebook, her Twitter. She doesn't post much, just the occasional photo of a book she's reading or a quiet park she visited. Her life is a quiet one, ordinary. She's not one of those people who post endless selfies or vacation pics, and I love that about her. She's private. She's mine. There's a comfort in knowing so much about someone. It feels like a secret, like something sacred that I keep close to my chest, but lately it's getting harder to be so close and never to touch, never to speak. Harder to be nothing but a shadow in her life. Last Thursday I did something I never done before. I followed her home after she'd gone out to dinner with a coworker, some guy I'd never seen before. He walked her to the door and they talked for a while, laughing. Then he leaned in to kiss her cheek. I felt something hot and angry coil inside me. I almost left then and there, but then I saw it. She'd forgotten to lock her door. I don't remember deciding to go inside. My feet just moved. One moment I was walking on the sidewalk. The next I was standing in her hallway, holding my breath, listening to the soft creak of the floorboards under my weight. Her house smelled faintly of vanilla and something floral. Lilac, I presume. My hands were shaking, but I couldn't stop. I needed to be closer, just for a quick moment. I was careful. I didn't touch anything. I just wandered, feeling the warmth of her presence lingering in every corner. The hum of her life wrapped me in a blanket. I found her bedroom and I stood in the doorway, staring at the bed where she'd soon be sleeping. I didn't stay for long, just long enough to memorize the room, to feel what it feels like to stand where she stands every day. I left before she noticed, locking the door behind me, keeping her safe, of course. My heart was hammering so hard, I thought I would collapse. I know it's wrong. I know I shouldn't be doing this, but when you love someone, when you really love someone, it's not that simple. She's the first thing I think about when I wake up and the last thing I think about before falling asleep. I dream about her. I can't imagine my life without her anymore. I'm not stalking. I'm not. I'm protecting. She doesn't have to be alone. I'm here. I'm always here. I'll always be here. Last night something happened. I was watching her from my usual spot across the street under the oak tree when she looked at me. For the first time, her eyes found mine through the gap in the curtains, and my breath caught. She stared for a long moment, and I felt my pulse quicken. Did she know I was there? Did she recognize me from the cafes, the stores, from the fragments of her life that I have slipped into? For a second, I thought she was going to scream, but she didn't. Instead, she just turned away and pulled the curtains shut. I felt something twist inside me, fear and excitement. I'm not sure which. I stayed outside her house until dawn, waiting for the light to go out. It never did. Today she didn't leave the house. No morning coffee, no trip to the park. Her routine was off. I kept waiting. But the blinds stayed down and the house was silent. I told myself maybe she was just taking a day off for once. But deep down, I felt the panic creeping in. What if she was avoiding me? What if she didn't want me to see again? What if she didn't want me to look? What if she didn't want me to protect? Tonight I'm going back. I'll wait until it's dark, until I'm sure she's asleep. I just need to make sure she is okay, that she's safe. Maybe this time I'll speak to her. Maybe if I tell her and I explain to her, maybe she'll understand. Maybe if I tell her how much I care, she'll see that I'm not like the others. She'll know I'm different. She'll know that I truly love her. I can hear the rain starting to fall, a steady patter against the pavement, just like the first time I saw her. It feels like a sign. I pull on my coat, slipping the spare key I took from her kitchen drawer into my pocket, and I stepped out into the night. The world is dark, but I'm not afraid, not anymore. Tonight, I'll finally be with her the way I always was meant to be, instead of just looking through her window. Good night.